Today we honor the life of Kenneth Lauer, a man whose spirit could not be contained by convention and whose curiosity carried him across spiritual, philosophical, and literal landscapes. Ken was deeply thoughtful, always questioning, always exploring. Though he did not claim a single faith tradition as his own, he found meaning and connection in many. He spent time living among the 12 tribes community, drawn to their commitment to simplicity, shared purpose, and living off-grid. Not as a convent, but as someone who sought understanding by living alongside others. He also showed a genuine interest in the Unitarian Universalist tradition, which speaks to the search for truth through reason, compassion, and openness, values that resonated with his own. Ken believed in presence over possessions, in quiet acts of loyalty over public declarations, and in defending those without a voice. He lived by his own compass, yet always with a deep sense of moral gravity, especially in the face of injustice. His faith, if it could be called that, was rooted in the goodness of people, in the mystery of the natural world, and in the enduring power of love. As we remember Ken today, we honor not only the life he lived, but the questions he asked, the lives he touched, and the legacy of open-mindedness, kindness, and quiet courage he leaves behind. I thought that what an ironic moment that he really did stand up for the underdog in general, and
I remember
one of them
saying that.
hit him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
like saying that a lot to me when I was young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, he told me that he would go. I didn't know before he died that he was he passed college to be an electrical engineer.
Yes.
I didn't know that, and he still chose to not engage in the
Right.
system.
Like the the system.
The,
Yes,
the
exactly.
status quo.
Yeah, I thought that was very cool. Does anyone else want to speak?
I'll be a mess if I try.
Do it. I love it.
Alright.
You did good, Sarah.
Huh?
I'm shaking, but
Yeah, I know that was scary.
Now that he's gone, there's a lot of memories that are coming back that there's a lot of impacts that he had on my life that I didn't fully recognize until, well, now.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about him with my friend, and it just all started coming back. My first sci-fi movies were with him, and that is still something I do.
Mm-hmm.
The camping and the hiking, while yes, largely contributed to mom and dad, is also part of him.
Mm-hmm.
The wanting to travel over the road, it was something that I learned from him. The ability to look past a lot of religions and try to connect with people as they are. The willingness to live without sometimes for the sake of simplicity and peace. These are all things that I can trace back to him, at least partially. And that's going to be with me for a long time. And I wish I had kept in touch better. But I know he understood. I really hope he knows how loved he was and how much of an impact he actually made on us. Okay, I'm gonna stop being a mess up here. Someone else go.
Just wanted to share a couple moments that impacted the person I am today, because throughout life, we've stayed really close. Even the darkest times, where we felt we both didn't really have anybody to talk to. A lot of our memories are gathered along kitchen tables. Every home we shared or had a meal, we would find ourselves talking at the kitchen table and talking about life and challenges and struggles and just sharing love and human connection, because he valued human connection over anything material ever in his life. And I know he loved and cared so much that it, hurt, and he was a really good person, genuinely misunderstood, but genuinely a great person. And I know a lot of people are gonna miss him, even though he didn't always feel like he would be missed. And that's just one of those real things that we talked about. And I know that all of us gathering here today to talk about memories and share things about him would be the only thing he would ask for. Just reminiscing in the good, positive parts of our lives, and then at the impacts that he's made, and I know he would be really happy with everybody today. And I know that he cared so much about everybody. So I can relate to him in a way where we feel like we have to reach out and grab those moments when they're there. And he was that type of person to pull you in and gather that human connection while it's there, and try and really reach out and do his best to connect where it was everlasting, And so I think you can carry on and leave from that conversation better than you came in, So I know he had that effect on everybody, and that he'd be grateful for. So.
You guys have all been really brave to get up here and talk. Anyway, I just had some very short. Springboarding off of the things there. Thank you. Anyway, springboarding off the thing you said about not engaging the system, I remembered something else. You know how you used to talk philosophy a lot, and one of his favorite philosophers, and so I kind of incorporated that into what I had written. My dad didn't have an easy life, but he was a good father with the hand he was dealt. He had strong opinions and was never one to follow the crowd. He felt too deeply and cared too much to stay silent. He believed in questioning how the world should be and shared his views even when they came across as unwanted advice. One of his heroes, Timothy Leary, once said, "A better world exists if we can summon the audacity to rid ourselves of the instinct to mindlessly follow the dominant paradigm." My dad wrestled with that tension between the reality that sometimes we must accept things as they are. The reality that we sometimes must accept things as they are. And his deep conviction about how things ought to be. He loved spending time with children and grandchildren and had a knack for bringing adventure into everyday moments. Whether it was a spontaneous bike ride or made up games. He may not have left behind wealth or monuments. But as Pericles once said, what you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. And what he wove into ours, compassion, love, presence, lives in me and in my children.
Okay, I didn't think I was gonna cry as much. I thought I got all the crying out.
I don't think that's gonna happen for a while.
The few times that I talked to him about, because he was, you could tell in the like jokes he made sometimes that he was scared of getting old, and he thought that no one was gonna care when he died, because he has nothing to leave behind, so he thought he was gonna be cremated and forgotten and no one would show up. So I really, the tissue looks so, I really appreciate everyone coming, but this is more than he thought was gonna happen. I wrote something really quickly this morning and I don't remember what it said. I was kind of dreading today to actually come because I'm not ready to say goodbye. I know people my age are supposed to be prepared for the death of grandparents, but I didn't get the chance to take care of him when he got too old like I promised I would. While he tested the boundaries of age like everyone should have the right to. People usually have time to make peace with losing someone as their mind and body slowly slip away. He was truly in the prime of his golden years. He might have been in better shape than me. We all foresaw him living to meet his great-grandchildren. He really was a huge part of my childhood, and it was a pleasure passing down a grandpa to my own kids so they could have the same experience. He was a huge part of our family, and life was going to be very lonely without him. What happens at this service today was not nearly as important to me as making sure that he got all the respect that anyone else would get and a resting place that he would like. We'll continue caring for him like I promised and keeping his memory alive. Oh, that's hard. I think that's The burial, I think, happens at 12:30. It's only 11:30, so we have time to see what.
Do we want to exchange memories, or do we want to wait till tonight to do that?
Memories are good. Marley, do you have any? The thing about board games would be a good one. Him and Grandpa.
What was your favorite one to play with Grandpa?
Probably chess.
It was always competitive.
No one would play chess with him because he bullies everybody. The very first time I played, he was still teaching me, and he was like, "Gotcha, gotcha." He's very mean when he plays chess.
I'll play with you.
Marley's.
Oh yeah, he was.
Good
In
luck.
the chess master, competitions.
Yeah.
He's very, very good.
So, and he's like that with a lot of board games. He's very competitive.
The first time I beat him, he refused to play again.
Yeah, that was hard.
I beat him one time, and he never played with me ever again.
I played with him one time. He was teaching me, and I didn't play again either.
He was trying to teach Grandma how to play, and then he's like, "Yeah, I won. You lost."
He's mean, huh?
She didn't even know how to play.
Grandpa was the only one who would sit with him and deal with it.
They had their limits where they would, call it quits. They
Yeah.
couldn't, continue the game because it got too heated. But
That's what I was trying to convey when I brought up like children and grandchildren. Like he really just wanted to
couldn't-
engage in children's
Yeah.
life.
Oh,
And he
yeah,
was
more,
trying
yeah, a lot more than I would say normal great grandparents don't get.
we would forget he was a great grandpa. a lot,
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
time.
Because
Yeah.
he's so engaged. He was,
Yeah.
everybody's grandpa.
Yep, yep.
Dad and I were talking about the hiking trip that you and Grandpa took me on when I was real small. It was just around the lake. But there are still pictures floating around of me feeding sliced American cheese and bananas to deer.
Oh,
There
that's what
are.
you were feeding them?
We-
I've seen those pictures.
We still have those pictures.
To deer.
I think you were about 8.
I
That's
don't
what you had, so.
Eight
That's
or
all we
9.
had.
Something he talked about a lot was, he says the adventure that you guys went on. In what was it? So I was too young to remember, but he said you guys
Between
went
California and Kansas.
right there. He thought about that a lot. He really enjoyed that.
He planned that out a lot. He had it planned down to the day, and he had a different little present for me every day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There was a little, the two I remember really are, there was a little teddy bear in a jester costume, which I unfortunately named Chester.
Clever.
And there was a book, Humphrey the Humpback Whale, which he would read with me basically every night because it was just a short little book.
I didn't know
And he took me to, various places and met various people. And I remember, I think it was a friend in Colorado, a friend of his, one of those states. And we chased around fireflies, and I had my first taste of actual mint off the plant. I did not like that.
that. Yeah, that's not good.
Was not my thing.
Yeah. He would, like at Clarissa's first birthday.
Oh,
And
this is a good one.
and you're old, and we're at my parents' house, and
Yeah.
we're all sitting around, and visiting and whatnot. And somebody starts looking, where's Clarissa? We can't find her. And then Ken's gone too. Nowhere in the house. took you outside and went for a walk. He came back, I don't know, 45 minutes later, and I mean, it was fine, it just didn't.
Didn't tell anybody.
He was gonna spend some time with his granddaughter, and, but that's the kind of stuff he did, he,
I think that habit kind of carried
not
over.
necessarily a lot of thought into the situation.
He was-
just,
he's
know,
kind
I
of
wanna spend
oblivious.
time with my granddaughter, so
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
was
gonna,
oblivious.
Kind of oblivious
and-
moments.
Yeah.
He reminds, in fact, he talked about it all the time, that he reminded himself, or Marley reminded him a lot of himself. Because Marley's like that too. He's just,
It's kind of off
yeah,
somewhere sometimes.
kind of
Yeah.
oblivious.
I still do that. I don't put a lot of planning into things usually. I just kind of go.
Yeah.
And he used to always say, have a beer and make a plan.
Have a beer and make a
And
plan.
bonus points.
And that led to another beer and no plan.
And no plan. Yeah.
Then everyone
No
was
plan.
talking.
Bro, I remember several times where I took his entire case of beer and hid it.
Oh my gosh.
I think Amanda was saying that too, right? Didn't you say something about hiding beer? I swear, no, there was something you said about hiding something from him.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have one that you guys have never heard. When he drove me from California to Texas, and the police were looking for me. Okay.
When you came
We-
to stay with me?
Yeah, we were in New Mexico, and in a hotel room for the night, and we were the only car in the hotel parking lot. There were other people staying there, but we were the only car. And a bunch of cops pulled in and boxed in his car, and so he was under the impression that he was going to jail because he has transported a minor across state lines, and so he opened his I think it was something stronger than beer. It was like vodka or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he said, if I'm going to jail, I'm going drunk. And he sat there and he drank hard.
Oh my God.
And eventually the cops left, and it had nothing to do with us. But eventually he was crying and talking about Grandma and how much he loves her.
Oh.
What,
I've
Grandma
never-
Patty?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. He would mention her every once in a while.
I never heard him mention her. Not once.
He
Yeah.
mentioned her a few months ago. We were talking about me and Sarah and how we rekindled things, and he at one point said that he tried to entertain that thought for a while, and that he just led to the open road and the opportunities he had, and he couldn't settle down back into that life, the rat race life, of all that, having an address and all that stuff, and that's what drove him to like Clarissa said, with the simplicity of things.
Yes.
And he had poked at it enough to entertain the thought that he'd thought about it, and kind of missed that life, but the open road was too appealing to him. And
Yeah. Yeah.
the curiosity of nature and adventure.
Yeah.
He was a total free spirit,
Yeah, that's, I mean, no matter, you can't have it all. You can't be settled and be, I don't know, there is no way to have it all. You have to choose one road or the other.
Right. And he definitely chose the route for him.
Yeah.
But he did talk.
He did talk to her
Yeah.
about her, yeah. Yeah, I was always under the impression that that's the only woman he ever really loved.
Yeah.
And
That's
that-
really
that-
sweet. I didn't really know that. That's
Yeah.
really sweet.
That was always the impression I got. But he didn't talk about it very much, and when he did mention it, was like under his breath,
Yeah,
I remember,
So he didn't get himself worked up,
that makes sense.
It
That
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Because he felt a lot. Like it would physically, like, he would have hard time breathing when he would get
Yes,
so
that
upset.
makes sense.
So he would have to like regulate his conversations a lot, or he would get so worked up.
That makes
So
sense.
he would test that a little bit, and, he would conversate a little bit, but he would definitely feel really strongly about everything. So
When we were younger, you and Grandpa used to debate about politics. And it would get so heated.
yeah,
who
I
did
did
that?
not do it. Sarah loves it. I can't do it.
Okay,
Oh.
I needed a witness to this. Wait, hold on, let her finish.
But, that was
Oh, I needed a witness to this. That you and Grandpa used to, and I remember seeing you. That's one of my earliest memories. Is you and Grandpa at the table yelling at each other.
Yelling.
I mean, like aggressively
slightly
discussing.
heated.
Aggressively. Okay, I like that. I like that term better.
Yeah, not mad, but like really going at it. You guys never didn't have something like a comeback.
I think
A rebuttal.
between them, it was more religion than politics.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
be sure, because Mom never really paid too much attention to politics.
Yeah, but so it kind of got passed on to me. Me and Grandpa would be at the table at like 2 a.m. when he was drinking, especially. And he wouldn't let me sneak off to bed. I'd be like inching away, and he'd keep going.
We've talked about this last night.
He'd keep coming at me, and I'd keep going. So at 2 a.m. we'd be in the kitchen yelling at each other about politics.
Aggressively discussing.
But I mean, like we'd be leaned in at each other, like really going at it.
But
Yeah.
he felt comfortable enough with you to do that.
He cared so much that he couldn't
Let it
not
go.
say
Yeah, he couldn't let it go.
what was on his mind. Yeah.
And Sarah definitely gets that trait from
Yeah. Yeah.
She shares that trait.
You can't
Yeah,
love
her
someone you
dad,
don't love them.
Sarah's dad was never like that.
No, that's more the keep talking even when everyone else is finished.
I never do that. What are you talking about? But this isn't about me.
You
Talking
guys want
about
to know the first sci-fi movie I did watch with him?
What?
Freaking Stargate.
I don't even know what that is.
the series, the
First
TV
Star
series.
Trek, right?
They did make a series out of it, but the movie came first
Oh, okay.
with Kurt Russell as the lead. But they didn't use him in the series. I like the guy in the series a lot better.
Stargate was before Star Trek, right?
No,
Okay.
well after.
Oh, okay. I thought that's where it originated from.
No. It was early 90s, late 80s, I think. And Star Trek's much older. than that.
Grandpa's camper.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
That's what we went to Kansas in. He had his camper.
The Toyota
Oh, man.
camper
Well,
with the split door.
Toyota Dolphin, right?
It was a little tiny, tiny dolphin.
Yeah, he told me about it, and I was trying to like piece it together what kind of RV it was.
Took us 3
I know.
girls on a road
I can look
trip.
it up. I'll show you pictures
Yeah.
of what kind it was.
Yeah.
But Sarah, he came and took you guys camping, and you threw up all over his bed.
It was it me?
Yeah.
I think at some point.
It might have been both of them.
I remember
yeah.
realizing at that age that me and you both get car sick real bad, and I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Grandma
Oh, I
pulled
guarantee it.
over.
Yeah.
He was-
oh, we do not feel good.
Wait, the one time that he took us camping, but I was so young. I was maybe like 6, but
yeah,
and
you were pretty young.
it was like last minute. He didn't plan it very well. So I what I remember,
Well, I
and
mean,
it might be
that's
distorted.
your grandpa.
Yeah,
You know.
it might be distorted because I was so young, but I remember him taking us. We're all looking for a camping spot, and it's dark and cold. And
Oh
he
my
ends
gosh,
up
dude,
he ends up
there-
like pulling over into the forest, and we
saw
all
a
set up sleeping
scorpion
bags.
on the ground.
Oh, you remember?
Yeah,
And I remember
uh,
being so cold that
that-
he put me in his sleeping bag so I would get warm.
yeah.
And then I remember waking up,
Because at
and when
first
it was
we were
still
gonna
like,
stay outside.
you know, the sun hasn't even come up yet, but it's blue outside. And the first thing I see when I look up is a squirrel eating the only thing we brought to eat,
Oh.
marshmallows. Eating our marshmallows.
Well, like you said, it was kind of poor playing last
Yeah,
minute.
yeah, we had just sleeping bags on the ground.
He went camping with us a lot
Yeah.
when you guys were little. You know, whether it was up to Sly Creek or Lassen National Park or whatever. You know, or Mill Creek. I think he went with us a few times. And that was I think his favorite thing was camping with you girls.
He liked
You know, growing up.
And
We
we'd go
always
by
loved
the
having
Dollar Tree and get a bunch of snacks.
Yeah.
We got whatever we wanted.
Jesus, thinking about that camper reminded me of something else. On that trip from California to Kansas, he went and ran inside a bank at one point, but he left me alone in the camper
Yeah.
with the keys.
Oh no!
Oh yes, this is going exactly where you think
How
it's going.
old were you?
I was 7.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
I was
Okay.
7. I was 7. I turned it on. I figured out how to use the keys to turn it on.
She's like, let's see.
And then I poked the stick shift
Yeah.
and it started rolling. I do not
Oh
remember
my-
if it was rolling backwards or forwards, but I freaked the hell out and pushed it back into the position it was in
Yeah.
and ran it in the back.
Holy crap!
Rolled a couple feet. I don't remember which direction.
Oh my gosh.
And then slam it back in the gear. That's really good. These guys.
Yeah.
I think he came out. I was like, "What? Did I
mean,
really
every-
park this far back?"
Every mechanic recommends that you do that once or twice a year.
He probably thought it was crazy. It was very terrible.
What would have happened if you didn't remember where it was, though?
Well, I mean, it goes all the way forward, if I remember right, and that's where it stops. So all
And
I did was.
I'm assuming that you let him think that he parked that far back.
Yeah, I do not remember, but I would imagine so.
I didn't do nothing, Grandpa.
What? This is just where you left it.
Obviously.
Right.
Obviously.
I'll read my book, man.
Ooh, the time that was it the first time we took him to Great Wolf Lodge? I don't think Harley realized how old Grandpa was, and Harley thought it was a good idea to pressure him to get on a water slide.
I was encouraging.
No.
I
was
saw the
telling
video.
him-
I saw the
Okay,
video.
there's
The
a
look
video.
on his face is
He's
utter terror.
terrified. He's
He
terrified.
was terrified in the video. I saw it.
I convinced
The
him,
flying
you know,
tornado.
he's so
Aggressively
able to fit,
encouraging.
you know,
Yeah.
so-
And I was telling him the whole
Fine,
time,
you know,
I was
right?
like, he's really
He was
old, his
panicking
legs
the
are
whole
not
time
great.
in
I don't
the
think it's a good
water
idea
slide,
because
though.
when you get on this ride, all of your legs have to be overlapping so that you all fit
Yeah.
into the tube.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't think it's a good idea. He's really old, and I was like, I don't like it.
He's
And
like,
you were
"He's
like,
really
he was like,
old."
no, it's fine, it's fine. And he's like pretty much pulling Grandpa along to get on this ride. And I have a video. His face was terrified.
Oh my gosh.
It was It started off. No, it just immediately went. It wasn't like a lazy river. It was like a water
It's
slide.
it's a fast one.
Yeah.
And then we went backwards because we were both the
He was
heaviest
going
people
back. He thought
next to
he
each
thought
other.
he was
So
gonna die.
gravity.
Yeah.
what
He
it
thought he
does.
was gonna
Yeah,
break
so we were
something.
going
He thought
backwards
something
the
was
whole
gonna
time.
happen.
Then he was looking behind him, and like halfway down, he just like kind of submitted to it and stopped looking back and looked forward and just
His
sat
eyes
back.
were all
Yeah.
terrified.
Gave in.
He gave into it.
And then when he gets to
His face was like,
Yeah, he accepted it.
he accepted it. If he was gonna die, he was gonna die. So I'm ready.
See, I don't remember him ever being into amusement parks and water slides
Yeah.
and stuff. He loved the water,
Yeah.
and maybe a canoe would have
Yeah.
been good, you know.
He loved
But a
the
water
water
slide,
slide.
Something nice and slow and
But
quiet.
I'll tell you
right?
what,
Yeah.
Lazy River, Lazy
yeah,
River.
Lazy
Yeah,
River was
a
his
lazy
favorite.
he valued those moments so much that he didn't want him to slip away. So he's like, you know what? Everybody wants me to go on the ride. I'm gonna go on the ride. You know,
I
so
risked
we can
life
have.
or death for
Yeah,
this.
exactly, for the moment. You know.
Yep.
So it
When-
was really great.
When we got to the bottom of that water slide, there's just we passed his face real quick on the video, and he like smiles slightly, like he can't believe he's made it. Yeah.
I did.
He was
Yeah.
he was alive in that moment.
Yeah.
I can't believe I survived.
He was so happy.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it again, but I
Yeah.
survived.
He made it. Yeah. But the next time we went,
Now
he did
you
not
got
go
a
on
million
it.
years.
I'll beat you at the bottom.
Yeah.
He literally told us that he's never gonna do that again.
I'll
Yeah.
bet. I'll
Yeah,
bet.
he said that one was enough for him. And then after that, when we went to Great Wolf Lodge, we would set up all of our stuff around him, and he would just kind of hang out.
He would just
like
watch
make
it.
around every once in a while, but he was like guard our stuff.
A stationary.
Yeah, he
There
would, yeah.
was.
Like very
A
rarely he
stationary
would go in
grandpa.
the lazy river, but that was the most he would ever do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
When we were living at Westside Village, there was a period of time where Grandpa Ken was coming over every day.
All the time.
I'm not all the time.
Barely
Every
single
remember
day,
that.
and every day I would get home from work, and we only had one parking spot,
Oh.
and he's parked it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the spots around the park, you know, because you could parallel park along the fence there
Yeah.
in the middle. Those are all taken. I'm getting home from work. Your mom and I argued and fought about this because I mean
After a long day, you don't want to go
I
looking for
don't-
a parking spot.
Yeah, I mean, you know, okay, cool. You want to see the grandkids, but there are some days where I'd like to come
I want
home
my own parking
and
spot.
see my kids and my wife
Yeah.
without anybody here. I just want to come home.
Yeah.
Remember that time when he
And
went with us?
but I understood. You know, he wants to see. You know, wanted to see the grandkids all the time, and I get that. But at the same time,
Because you're kind of this, you really thrive off of relationship and being with kids and grandkids
with
too.
my kids and grandkids, I
Yeah.
love my kids and
Yeah.
grandkids.
What were you gonna say, Marley?
At a certain point when I was like 10, he lived with us.
Mm-hmm.
He lived
Like,
with us a
and-
couple times. He lived with us when you were a baby.
When you were a baby.
Oh yeah. Well, I only remember one time he lived with us. Down the hill in that yeah, in Hemet.
Mm-hmm.
Before they moved back in together.
Mm-hmm.
He had his own little tiny house.
Yeah, he had a little tiny. It's similar to mine. It was just in the backyard with the pigs running around.
He loved
There's
the
a
pigs.
lot,
He
there's
loved
a
the
lot of
pigs.
that.
We
Yeah.
gave them-
I could imagine that.
What was it that he gives them all the time? Kisses? Hershey kisses?
Hershey
I
Kisses?
think
Hershey
yeah,
kisses.
yeah.
For the
And they
pigs?
loved him.
Because
The
pigs
pigs.
are one of the only animals that will not die from Hershey's Kisses.
Yeah. He
Huh.
those pigs
Chocolate.
loved him.
Chocolate.
Yeah, Bella and Pancake, they'd honk or they'd like wink at his fence right in front of his door and wake him up in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, they would go at his door.
Give us our treat.
Yeah.
You know, Sarah, how you said how he was in such good shape
Yeah.
for, and when was it Renee, right, the victim services, and she had said that they couldn't believe when they finally ID'd him and found out that he was 75 years old, because they thought when they found him on the scene of the crime, they thought he was a 55-year-old man, because he was in such good shape.
He really was. He, you know, when we took him trick or treating or with us anywhere, he would complain the least out of all of us. The kids immediately were the first ones. My feet hurt.
Where did we go?
Are we almost done?
The San Diego
Are we
Zoo.
there?
Can we go home?
He walked around the entire San Diego Zoo, and it's huge. All of us were like limping along right at the last minute, and he
My
didn't
knees
say a
were giving
word.
out.
Wow.
He was in probably better shape than me.
It's like the tortoise and the hare situation. He's super slow, but he can go. He can go.
Yeah, he
for
keep
miles.
he'll keep going.
Yeah, it was like just
Love
enough
that
support and help so he can get around everywhere. And he would physically get a lot of exercise from it, but he would go miles. He would go 10 miles a day. You know,
saying how much shape he got in really good
mileage on his old e-bike.
Okay.
And it has 6,500 miles on a bike.
On a
And this was
bike.
the old one that he'd replaced that wasn't good enough for him.
Out
So-
in 100-degree weather.
Yeah, and then
It
he
had
replaced it 2
Yeah.
years ago, so or like a year and a half ago. So now on this new bike, he's got even more mileage. So he's got tens of thousands of miles on those e-bikes, just cruising around. And,
That's
you know, it is yeah.
He actually
Did that
told me
open
why
up-
he likes bikes.
Yeah.
And he can't run. He said it's because he can't put a lot of pressure
Right.
on I think his left hip,
Yeah.
and the bike you can just sit on so it doesn't put.
He did
pressure
have
on
both
you
his
on the
hips replaced.
So he
Yeah,
can
that
go
was
as
the
fast
only
as he
thing
wanted
slowing
on
him
the
down was
bikes.
that he had his
That's
hips
why he
and
loved the
knees.
bike so much. He could
Yeah.
just go as fast as he wanted.
And the technology with the e-bike and help with pedaling, that it made it easy for him to get around, you know, and still be physically fit.
Tell them that you told me to talked. What was it that
We were talking about how healthy he was and how long he was gonna live.
Wow.
And yeah, I don't know what was said, but he said he specifically said that he thought he had a long time to live.
Yeah.
And
Well, he
he
did.
did.
Yeah, he did.
And I would
Like
always tell
what
him
you
that
said,
too,
like
because
he
he would
probably would've-
sometimes make a comment here and there about, you know, what's gonna happen when I get old. And he said, "Who's gonna change my diapers?" And I said, "I'll do it." And
That's what
but
Amanda said
then
about
after
me.
that, I would say we have so long to worry about that. You're like, we're nowhere near.
Right.
We're nowhere near that. I said, "You have-
75 years old, still out riding his bike.
Yeah, I said
I
you're
mean-
perfectly fine. You're gonna go a lot longer. We don't have to worry about that yet. And when we do, I'll do it. But so that was something we were always talking about, was that he had so much longer to live.
Yes.
We just had that conversation.
It wasn't like he got a lot of time still.
Right.
Yes.
When my grandpa Bob passed, that was natural causes. You know, I was able to process that.
And that was just a short time ago too, right?
But it was 3-4 months ago.
Right. Was he the one that came down with you to pick up the refrigerator and my dad's cement mixer at the storage unit?
Oh yeah, yeah, it was.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
That's what I
the
thought.
big white beard.
Yeah.
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 And when I lost him, it was easy to process because you know he was in and out of the hospital. And
It was. You had time to prepare
Yeah.
mentally.
Yeah, and we had talked about that, and we had mentioned the fact that you know he wasn't sure how his last years were going to play out. You know, he didn't know. So we had talked about that and joked, you know, hey, you're gonna change my diapers, you know? Yeah, we were all about it and all that stuff. So it was a conversation that we had that we had to value the moments that we have left. And
Sure.
I remember having that conversation with Marley, and you know, me just losing my grandfather, it was easy for me to process because of the health issues, you know, and ongoing stuff and all that stuff.
It helped prepare you.
Yeah, and for that instance, And then we had a conversation with Marley, and I was like, you know, I just lost my grandpa. You know, you should probably go take a walk. You know, go hang out. And that was actually the last time he was up. It was the time that he went and walked with Nova and into the forest and stuff. Remember we had that talk, and you never know, you know, what would happen.
And we talked about
Exactly, and that's exactly
Wow.
what happened. That sparked that conversation, is because, you know, loss, you know, sometimes is unexpected. Sometimes you have time to process it, but you're not guaranteed every day, you know. So you have to value those moments and appreciate them, you know. That's what that conversation really, you know, you should remember.
Another thing that I just remembered was that both him and I were under the impression that I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends that I hang out with. I just don't. It doesn't bother me, but I don't. He was like the only person that that would just come over to hang out for fun, or like I didn't feel like I had to clean my house before he came over. He was my only friend.
I hope you don't feel that way when we come out.
To clean my house?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Last night.
I know.
Last night I texted when we were on our way to the house. I texted him real quick and I said, "Clean up."
Well, it's like when you guys first got together and you had that 2-story over in kind of across on the other side of 38. And we came over. No. It's
The greenhouse?
out 38, and then instead of you go past Moon Ridge and
Oh,
all.
with the big yard, big fenced
Yeah,
in
yeah,
yard.
and you still had the big Chevy truck.
When mom and dad
in the
lived
yard.
in,
Whispering Pines.
yeah, when mom and dad
Um,
lived in Whispering Pines.
The A-frame.
Oh, you're talking about our house.
Yeah, your
Oh,
guys'
no,
house.
Or I thought I was picturing your house.
And it was your house, and we got there, and you said Sarah's been cleaning all day,
Right.
all night, and preparing for us to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like the kind of friend where you
But when
didn't
I
have
picked up
to.
Grandpa, I would go. I haven't showered in 3 days, and my hair's in a bun, and I probably have a stain on my shirt. And he comes up, and there's laundry and
You know,
stuff all over the coffee table.
we don't
And
care
it-
about that,
I
you
know.
know.
I know. We just hung out so much that it just didn't seem necessary
And-
to clean up every time he came over. He would
If-
come over all the time.
If
That
it
would be
if
ridiculous.
Yeah.
if it is gonna keep us from being able to come there because you're like, oh, I can't have my parents here, my house is filthy. I don't care.
I know.
I want to see my kids.
But where I was going with that was that he was under the impression also that he had no friends, and he kind of joked about it sometimes that he was like too picky with people, and that's why he couldn't date or have friends, because every time I pointed someone out, like a girl, he would find something immediately wrong with them, and he was the same way with friends too.
Yeah.
But when we went the first day we went to go clean out his apartment, there was you were there. You could probably tell better.
Well, yeah, so he was, everybody is their own harshest critic. He felt that he didn't reach out enough to all of his neighbors around his apartment complex. And it was a silly conversation that we had, over years. He felt like he had no friends at that apartment complex, and he'd come up and visit, and we'd have conversations, and we'd get really heartfelt, we'd get emotional, we'd get, like the aggressive discussions and stuff. Enough, as much as I can take, in the most recent years,
Or at least have them make sure they
we
understand.
were like at a mutual standpoint as both like grown men, like he would recognize my cues when I'd get frustrated and stressed out.
Unless he was drinking.
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't care about all that.
Yes.
But since he was sober the last couple years, we had some real heartfelt and emotionally like connected conversations. And we had those talks of him feeling like he had no friends, Mid-conversation, I'm thinking to all these conversations that he said he had with all his neighbors, I'm thinking, you have friends, you just don't think about it. You should try more. You should invite people over for a meal
They
or
had a
something
whole
like that.
conversation, and Grandpa advice saying, okay, so maybe I should do this next
Yeah.
time.
You know what?
They had a conversation about
That-
how to make friends better.
That's
it was
exactly
really awesome.
Who my dad was, though. Like you brought up that he watched movies with you, and he was the kind of person like if he didn't have to watch his movie, he would, if you said, this is a good movie, he would take your suggestion and watch
Yeah.
your
Right.
movie. And
And
like
see
if
if
you
they
were
agree.
giving him advice, he would listen to your advice and listen, but he might have some comeback or not,
Yeah.
but he would listen.
Yeah.
He would, engage
Yeah.
and be, you know, just be open to other ideas.
Yeah.
The neighbor, I don't think it hit him as well, because he was an old veteran, and, I don't think I think he felt similar
When,
with his,
when we
with
went
his,
to go clean out the apartment, the first neighbors were starting to find out that what had happened.
Yeah.
his across the street neighbor.
Right.
And they opened their door to each other, so morning coffee on his front porch, they're
Okay.
they're staring at each other.
Okay.
And they had their discussions about politics, and it didn't weigh on him as much as he thought. He didn't think that relationship meant a lot to him, the neighbor. But he was. I was telling him about what happened, and that we were cleaning out his property, and he was like, "Well, I can't shoot the shit with him anymore about politics."
Yeah.
And mid conversation, I saw the single tear coming from his eye, because he realized that was his friend too. Like they had friends, but didn't
That's so sad.
realize it. You know
That's
what I
so
mean?
sad. Yeah. Like he
As-
had more impact than he realized.
Yeah. As two grown men, they were kind of like both independent people, but they were like that unspoken. There was that unspoken friendship that they didn't realize they had, and it was really awesome for somebody to share that. That he was going to be missed. On that first day, that first the processing of things around his everyday life. The people that he saw every day. His upstairs neighbor shared some stuff with Sarah as well, but
She noticed him more than he thought.
right,
She did.
and told him that day to be safe on his bike.
She
and
told him
stuff.
every time he left the apartment on his bike to be safe. She said, "Be safe on that stupid bike."
Yeah.
And,
That sounds like a friend.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
just a not a real super close friend, but a friend, regardless.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People
And
he had an
he
impact. He didn't know
thought
that
about him like that.
he didn't know that he'd made an impact, or had friends that were just people that genuinely just like cared about him. Like, he'd have a good day, be safe.
I
Come
wanted.
back.
I was trying to, when he was out here, and I'd be out here, I would want to reconnect. But he didn't want to have any part of it.
It was hard.
And,
There's a lot of history behind
that's
it.
why I went for Father's Day, and he was up, and I'm like, yeah, no, tell him it's cool. We'll all go to dinner. My treat. It's cool. And he didn't want it. He didn't want
He
it.
was stuck in his ways, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
So much that it hurt. The emotions were so strong.
Yeah, I don't think he knew how to get past.
Yeah.
A lot of
What's it
past events.
A lot of stuff in multiple parts of his life.
called? Yeah, he just
That's-
didn't know. He didn't
That's
know how
what
to
drew
get
him
past
to the
himself.
road of new adventures and
I
new
think he had a hard
memories.
time, like going through problems with people. What's the word for that?
Process.
Like processing.
Resolution.
Resolving issues between
Yeah.
with other people.
Yeah, he had a problem with that.
And that
Or like emotionally, he had a hard time
being vulnerable. I guess.
being vulnerable with people. That's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kept his guard up.
So yeah, when his feelings were hurt, he would just kind of disappear.
Yeah. Next adventure.
I can relate to that. I've done that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Where I just shut it, including you girls, where I just shut you guys out. I
It's
I
easy.
got
to-
nothing. Like when Amanda and Brandon bailed off to Georgia, and I didn't talk to you for a year.
Now this is about you.
That is a prime example, actually. That's a prime example where you can't reconnect because it's too painful.
I was
That's
mad.
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I think
You
that's
guys
what
were
it
some,
is.
you had told us we'll be down the next weekend with the kids to see you. Not a phone call, not a message, not a text. They were gone. They were in Georgia when they were supposed to be at our house visiting.
I called twice and not a fucking nothing.
What?
There's a sound on what movie is that from? I don't even know, but people make videos with that sound on TikTok now, and it says I called twice.
Tiger King.
The Tiger King guy. I called twice and not a fuck you or nothing. People make funny videos with it now.
I mean, that's Sarah though.
Yeah.
She's radio silence 99% of the time,
Yeah.
I can't say that.
and that bugs the hell out of me because I need that.
Yeah.
That connection, like you and Grandpa. I need that with my kids.
Yeah.
I wish I'd kept in touch better. The last thing I got from him was the happy birthday message. off Facebook.
Yeah.
And
That's why you
normally,
need to check Facebook more often.
normally I don't even respond to those. I've been meaning to take off my birthday off of
I don't
Facebook for
either,
years.
Mhm.
And this year I was actually trying to respond to them. I was, I would log into Facebook for a few minutes each of those days and respond, hey, thank you for this, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't gotten to his. Literally, the day Daddy called me is the day I found Grandpa's.
The birthday, when Grandpa had said happy birthday, okay. Yeah, that's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, a few hours later, it came up on my Facebook.
No, we just went outside.
I know, I sent her. Yeah, I was supposed to pick him up the day after we went to Calico, but I was so tired from the heat and everything that I texted him and I said we're gonna come down tomorrow because I'm too exhausted, I want to sleep. And then that's the day he got hit. Was the morning that I was supposed to go get him. So that took a minute to get over. Are you gonna zoom in? Don't do it.
Don't worry, you can't.
I haven't been using the Zoom at all.
Oh dear. We're all sharing heartfelt stories and you're like zooming up our nose.
Well, no, because I'm not. I could if you wanted me to.
No. I don't know what's going on up
He's
there.
thinking about it.
There's up Chris's nose.
I have one more story that most of you guys, well, you guys were all there.
I wasn't.
So, we had a Christmas, that we all tried to reconnect, one of those times that, Grandpa was over. And it was snowing and, he had lived with us off and on for the last few years, so, it was just the beginning, but I still felt really close with him. It was my grandpa. He let me take his rental car down the street, and I went to a buddy's place. Went to a buddy's place and hit a patch of ice and scraped the whole side of the rental car. Right. Yep.
I remember.
Yeah. I was so embarrassed. And I tried to get it out and scraped the other side.
Oh.
Yeah. I scraped both sides, basically totaled the whole car. And I was like 18, 19, barely an adult.
Wow.
Yeah, 100% should not have been driving it. But I came up with the bullshit hit and run story and went back to
Came up with something completely. And you know what? You told me that too. I wasn't with you.
For years.
You told me that to me
Yes.
and him.
Yes.
He didn't believe you, but I was like, I don't really
Yes.
care either way. I was too young.
But he let me have it.
Yeah. And then years later, he told me the truth.
Yeah. He let me have it. He knew it was full of shit because it was on both sides, and I was like, oh my god. Exactly. Exactly. It was just terrible. It was a patch of ice in the driveway, and I slid on one side, and then sure enough, it slid right into the other side. It was terrible.
So did he call you out on the bullshit?
Oh yeah, he called me out, but not that day. Years later, we had to talk about it, and he asked me what happened that day. And because he still couldn't rent from Enterprise.
Oh my god.
He was banned for life for the rental car.
Wow.
And he tried at one point, and he could not get a rental car for something, and it was like he had to go through a different company and all this stuff. It was like this big deal. And he had asked me one time, was like, what happened? And I was so embarrassed. It was just so funny that, and that was like, I finally came clean, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then it was years later that I told Sarah too. It was just like a couple years ago, to be honest. And that was one of the funniest memories because we were such young kids, and he was still so supportive of our young family that he didn't make a big fuss about it.
Right.
He just kind of,
He had an happen.
it happened, and nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
He paid the deductible, and I said my sorry, and it was all good. And he he knew it was bullshit that day, but he didn't want to spoil the day, so he just forgot about it. It was on Christmas Day. You know, I felt so
Oh,
bad.
yeah, it was
I
on
felt so
Christmas.
bad. It was Christmas
Yeah,
Day.
it was when he was up here in Big Bear, right? At my
Yes.
parents' house, the one that we
Yes.
lived in
Bicycle
when I was in
kid.
high school.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's when it happened.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, one of
Marley-
the first years that we got together after, you know, as
Mm-hmm.
adults, you know, he was in town for the year. and all that
Grandpa
stuff.
would let Brandon drive his rental car around too.
Yeah.
He never scratched it.
Yeah. He's got
Well,
one.
even when you girls were little and he'd rent a car, he'd have me drive it.
Okay, so I let him drive my car all the time. Marley, tell them what happened about the windshield.
Oh, okay. So I don't remember.
Let him tell.
I don't remember where we were driving. I think it was like the.
Grocery store or something.
I think it was the convenience store. And me and Nova were being stupid. We didn't have seatbelts on. We were both like dancing in our car seats. And
Marley's sitting in the front passenger side.
yeah, some dude at like a
Make them wear seatbelts.
what?
He didn't make them wear seatbelts.
Yeah, we didn't. We
So
did
they're
not wear
climbing all over the
seatbelts.
car.
Yeah. And then when we were about to turn, some dude was going like 70 miles an hour where you were supposed to go 40. And he came to such a complete stop that I went flying into the windshield and my forehead cracked it.
Slammed
My-
on the
my
brakes.
head.
Marley's head went into the windshield and.
And this is
cracked the
your
windshield.
car?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
So
my
I'm
gosh.
in. They come home and I'm in my room and Marley comes in and he's like, "Mom, Grandpa cracked your windshield."
To be more accurate,
And,
Marley.
and you know what? It was April 1st. It was April 1st.
She didn't believe
So I was like, you guys are messing with me, right? You're lying. So I'm getting up and stopping and looking at him saying, "You're lying, right? You're lying." And I finally get outside and the car's parked in a way that I can't see the windshield right away, but Grandpa's out here standing in the yard not looking at me. He's kind of wandering around, not making eye contact with me. And I go forward and I see the windshield is completely cracked.
It was shattered.
Yeah, it was cracked.
It wasn't like it
was
didn't
cracked
fall into
real
the
bad.
car, but it was like destroyed
Yeah.
it.
So I yeah. I mean,
I'm
no
glad
big
you
deal.
didn't get-
I don't even think.
She just walked back inside with a disappointed look in
I
her
didn't let him
face.
drive my car after that.
On top of that, secret for me as well.
Oh,
I didn't
Oh,
hear
we
about
never told
that.
him.
I didn't hear about that forever until Marley time. I was like, what? I didn't hear about any of this. And you know, it was just one of those times where I was like, dude, you got a freaking car accident, cracked the windshield, didn't even tell me.
You know, it's funny how that happens. They don't want to tell Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? We have a similar story.
I have a
Scraping
strong
a
skull.
carport post.
Oh, yeah,
What?
Remember the old Toyota wagon?
It didn't even hurt after.
You know how it had a little bit of scrape onto one
It
side?
didn't even
It
hurt
hurt my
afterwards.
heart.
The passenger side had a little scrape on it?
Okay.
it was, yeah.
Your mom.
Well, what,
I
I
had
jumped the
backed
clutch
it-
is what happened.
Oh.
I think I had backed it into the carport.
Okay.
And she was pulling up, but she turned too soon. And it scraped the side of the passenger side. And so she told the neighbor, when my husband gets home, I'm gonna tell him about the car. Can you watch us, please?
Oh my god.
He might get mad.
Oh.
Did I get mad?
No, I don't think you did.
No, I didn't.
It
Because,
already
you
happened.
know, I
It
mean,
already happened.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
So
You know,
did
now,
you have
if she was
anything-
out there running over elderly people in crosswalks, then I might be a little upset. But that wasn't the case, you know.
It's a bad analogy for this situation.
Well,
I'm just kidding. It's okay.
I guess I was a bad taste. I wasn't thinking, your dad's an idiot, you know that.
No,
We,
did you have anything
we were
to add
joking
to-
about it when we cleaned
Everybody
out
agrees.
Grandpa's apartment, the last little bit of it. He had camping stuff and clothes, but he also had a bunch of
Shoes.
shoes, but
yeah.
also a bunch of socks. The ones
Boxes?
that take your blood pressure.
Oh, a BP cup.
Okay.
Blood
so,
pressure
like
cup.
a bunch of them. Like he would buy them and not like quite like that one, so he'd buy another one. He had a bunch of them, and there were a couple times when he would come up here and he would bring his little travel one with him, and he would make all of us take our blood pressure. Okay, just for kicks. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so I found when I went and cleaned out his apartment, there was a bunch of them.
That's
And so Marley had seen them. What happened?
oh, they got wet because it rained and it was having the kids dry everything off really quick.
Okay.
And I was like, well, here, you guys can each have one of these blood pressure cuffs, and I'll make you guys take your blood pressure every night.
It's what
And-
Grandpa would have wanted.
And
I
Marley said
that's
it's
I
what Grandpa would have wanted.
Dude,
Like, those are his final wishes.
he was into make sure you take your vitamins
Oh, God, vitamins.
and get your
I remember those
exercise.
little, you know the
Yeah.
multivitamin packs in gas stations? I remember him always buying those.
Yeah,
And-
that's another thing. Yeah, a
Everybody
lot of
can
vitamins.
take vitamins.
Yeah,
Like,
One
like vitamin E.
What I want everybody here to do, make sure you get a good night's rest.
Yeah. Okay. He
Okay.
made Marley wear his. He took off his watch off his to track how much sleep Marley was getting
It
because
was-
he didn't believe that Marley
And
was
it
actually
didn't work
sleeping.
like half the time.
It
but-
didn't
I wish we would have had that stuff when you girls were growing up.
I
That would have been
know.
nice. Oh, we're going to bed.
Yeah,
no, you're
right,
not.
Yeah. Stay on top of the hour of sleep.
The
Right,
GPS
you know?
went way up.
Yeah.
I think
And
the
then-
one time it actually worked was the night out of all of them that I had the worst sleep. It was like 4 hours.
Oh, and make sure your tires on your vehicle are good.
Yeah.
He was big on tires,
And that makes sense considering how he lived.
right? He used to get check our tires all the
A
time.
good pair of
His
shoes, you
mom
know,
and
that's
dad's
it.
baby.
Shoes
Right?
and tires, you know.
That's what you get. You got to make sure.
That's what you
It is
need.
12:05.
Yeah, he liked his good hiking boots
Yeah.
and had a good
wait,
quality
one
shoe.
last, we gotta get going home, but one last story. When I was a kid, girls want like cute shoes, and he
Yeah.
wanted me to have like really
Heavy duty.
heavy duty hiker
He
shoes,
hated-
and I'm like,
he
but they
hated all
make
my cute shoes.
yeah. He insisted on buying me
Yeah.
good hiking shoes
Right.
when I was a kid.
But
Nothing cute.
yeah, I was
He-
like, no, I was disagreeable about
Any-
everything. They're ugly. They're I
Yeah.
want the cute shoes.
Any shoes I wore ever, they were not good enough for him.
Yeah.
He would always say they're not good, no matter what they
I
were.
remember he used to tease Amanda about her sensitive feet with the socks.
We gotta, we
complained
probably
about
gotta
what
get
socks
going.
he put
to
you
the
in.
thing, right?
I
Oh, she's
like
going to
thicker
ask.
socks.
okay, well, I'm going to end the video here. Nova,
Do you have anything to add on that time that Marley?
You
slammed
haven't
into
really
the
said
windshield?
anything.
I think that's the reason why his brain is so messed up.
That Marley's brain is messed up because he slammed into the windshield.
that's why he's
I don't
messed
think
up.
so.
Scramble a little bit.
I have another story, but it can wait until later.
What's the story?
Go ahead.
Say it.
The one time Grandpa got arrested trying to come on base to see me.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Oh, that's right. He had pot. He had some weed.
Yeah.
And he admitted it too.
Yeah.
He admitted it. I had to go pick him up from the jail.
Oh no! He told me about
Do you have any weed? Yeah, a little.
that.
Yeah,
It's
just
a
a little
zero
bit.
tolerance state.
Just like this.
Right.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
like, Grandpa.
In Texas too, that's zero tolerance on top of zero tolerance.
Right?
Yeah.
It was that. I remember that story. That was hysterical.
Yeah.
That
Wasn't that Fort Bliss?
But he was
Yeah.
he was that hippie, you know, just cruising around. He got a little jar in his
He's
van.
like, yeah, I got a
you know.
medical card for this.
And
We're like,
it's
"No."
not like he didn't smoke it to get wasted. He just a couple hits and that
Yeah,
was it, just to
yeah,
mellow,
yeah.
be chill.
Yeah. Didn't smoke cigarettes, but he had his herb.
Yeah, yeah.
So is the barrier.
We were talking about the time he got arrested coming on the base to see her.
He talked about that all the time. He talked about that all the time. He just had the tiniest little bit too.
Yeah.
It wasn't much, but I had to go pick him up from
He
the
was so
jail.
upset. Yeah,
That was pretty funny.
It was funny.
It traumatized him too.
it traumatized him. Yeah.
Freaked him out.
And another story that he really liked to tell, I don't remember it very well, but I was at the Hemet Library, and he had been visiting us at the apartments, and I guess he had already sat down to have his little beer, and he smoked a little bit. So, and he said after he does that, he cannot drive. After he smokes a little bit, he cannot drive because he said he just feels not okay driving after that. And I guess I had called him, and I don't know, I missed the last bus home. And so I called him and I said, I need you to come pick me up. And I didn't realize that he thought it was like maybe an emergency, but I don't remember it being like that. I was just like, I need a ride home.
Yeah.
But he,
In his head, that would be an emergency. If
Especially-
one of us called and
Yeah.
needed him.
and so he got in the car and drove like 3 miles an hour the whole way there. Scared out of his mind trying to come pick me up from the library.
Aww.
Yeah, he really liked to tell that one.
When did you go to the library?
I was at the library all the time. It was mostly to use the computers.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Early days
Yeah.
of social media.
Did now over the last several years, did he ever talk about his daughter, your mom?
Of
course.
all the time. He he wouldn't tell stories. I had never heard any stories from her childhood or anything like that, but he would ask about her. That's almost the first thing he would do every time we hung out with him, was ask about everybody. What's Amanda doing? What's Clarissa doing? How are the girls? How are the boys? How's mom?
To check in.
Yeah.
Keep relevant and keep updated.
Good.
The one story I did hear about your childhood was when you lived in the house in Arrowhead, and you guys had a muddy dirt road to get up to your driveway.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And it was he'd have to go in reverse up.
Yeah,
That-
my mom
that
did
was
that.
him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would reverse up instead of going forward because he couldn't get up forward, so he'd have to go backwards.
I don't know if my dad. I know my mom did that. Maybe my dad did it. And
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't know that. But
He just
yeah,
told me the story.
There was a part.
Yeah. So that was Patty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He told that story a lot.
In a
about the
front-wheel
house.
drive car, you couldn't do it because
Exactly.
when you're going up the hill, the weight shifts to the back and you lose traction on the
Yeah.
front. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it worked.
He told that one a lot. He reminisced for that house in the cabin.
That's
in
my favorite
Arrowhead.
area. I love
Yeah.
Arrowhead.
Yeah, he was, and I forget that he grew up here in Big Bear, or like on this mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like, or not grew up, but he spent time.
As a young adult.
As an
I
adult.
think I
yes,
forget
yes.
that he spent time here, and
Yes.
this wasn't the first time he came here.
Right, he didn't
like
just
when
come
he
here to see
visit-
us for the first time.
Yeah, when he'd visit, I would forget that it was familiar.
Right.
You know, that he had
Yes.
a family here at some point and
Yeah.
had a house
And you know,
here and all that
one
stuff.
of his favorite places too. I lived in Pomona for a while. One of his great places isn't Mount Baldy like right by Pomona?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
loved Mount Baldy too.
I didn't know that. He actually took me on my very first hike. He took me on Deer Springs Trail in Idlewild.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a short little hike, but
That wasn't your first hike.
it wasn't my first hike.
No.
It's the first one that I
It's the
remember.
first one you probably did fully on your own
Right.
Yeah.
because you were a baby in a backpack first hikes you went
See,
on.
the first one I remember.
Right. Okay.
With your own free will, that was your one.
Yeah,
He-
I
he-
didn't think I was gonna like it. He was demanding that we stop here and go on this trail, and I was just like, I want to go.
There was one time where he begged me to punch him.
Oh,
He did.
was
Yeah.
he drinking?
It was in front of Bob's house in Santa Ana. And Bob was on the other side of the fence. And your mom was inside Bob's house, sitting on the floor and, at the coffee table watching TV, and I think she had a book out in front of her. And she was pregnant with Amanda, and your dad was living next door, I think, or in a camper or something behind Bob's house. Well, Bob's built. Bob could punch.
Oh,
His idea of fun was catching the Mexicans that hopped over his fence and beating them to a bloody pulp if they entered his yard.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, he's a big guy,
Yeah.
and your mom and I, we had been off and on and whatnot, and so I had gone over there basically to beg her to marry me,
Oh.
and your grandpa didn't like me forever, and I mean, and it started back then.
Yes.
And he was on the sidewalk on his knees with hands together, and he was
He
looking at me,
got down on
going,
his knees.
"Punch me, please, just hit me,
I mean,
just
for
hit
my
me."
dad to say that tells you how upset, because he was not a violent guy.
Yeah.
It tells you how
But
upset he was.
he knows. I think he knows that he wouldn't hit me back,
Yeah.
but he knows Bob would have hopped that fence and come out and beat me to a pulp. See, and that's why he was doing it. He wanted me to hit him so that I would get beat to a pulp.
Yeah, but he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that movie.
But you know what?
About
You know what?
the guy who would pick up the gun.
Your mom came out.
Oh, you saved the day. He didn't even need to use Bob. So
What?
Bob was needed.
I said he didn't even need to use Bob.
No,
Bob was not necessary.
He wasn't necessary.
no. I wasn't gonna hit him. Why would I hit him?
Yeah.
I understood his position. I didn't like him, but I understood his position, even at that young, tender age that I was.
We all have those tender ages.
I know.
Did you already? Okay. Are we?
So, are we done then?
Anybody
with
else?
the-
I was thinking we could take a couple pictures because this
Okay.
all costed like 11 grand.
Okay,
And
I'm
then
gonna
we can-
stop the video.
Yeah.
Everybody love Grandpa?
Yeah.
We all love Grandpa a lot.
We loved him.
Gonna miss him. I love him.
This is the closest we've been to him since the.
Nova, sit up, please. Thank you. And one more.
Was she eating the tissues?